It's a good show. To come on this platform after day is no simple feat. It is like daily the Pentecostal pastor. And no one, I'm like a Jehovah's Witness, preacher, very, So I hope, Jehovah's Witness is inside there offended. Anyway, it is interesting that it is raining while my presentation speaks about water. But I'm not going to tell you about what we are doing today. I want to look at the return on investment on irrigation from the usage standpoint, not from the product standpoint. So I'm going to try and see if I can behave like Dave. You understand? And walk around and agree? So what you say? Next slide. That's what you said. So if we're talking about return on investment, effectively what we are speaking about is being efficient. Being efficient. And I like the science thing, So I'm going to tell you what the physics person says, what is efficiency? They said it is defined as the ratio of useful energy output to total energy input expressed as a percentage. If you look on this slide, you will see this. Useful energy output work against waste energy. In other words, when you look for this is what you want. But you know what you want? Effectively what you want to reduce this. So in other words, every gallon of water that you procure, you want to minimize this. Next slide, that's what David said. So since we're talking about irrigation, let me try and understand what is irrigation efficiency. Work with me. We just need some definition because I just want to discuss one slide with you. And it is the last slide. And I have about 9 slides. So don't worry. I won't be long like this. So what is the formula for irrigation efficiency? Listen. It is the water used beneficially by crops divided over the total water supply. And when you multiply by 100, it's just percentage. It's mathematics, so we are trying to teach you. So listen, as I said, let me use the white container that you use. 1 cubic meter, that is. If you get 1 cubic meter of water, you start to use it. How much of that is effectively used by the plant? That is what we're talking about. Effectively. So look, you see the red stuff? Danger. So you can lose water through evaporation, runoff, and depopulation. I'm giving basic stuff in terms of irrigation. So notice the general. Beneficial use. That is what we want. Next slide. So, this is what we call field application efficiency. And let me tell you what that means. It's when you get the water, you see farmers from St. Thomas. When you get the water from NIC or anywhere, how you use it is critical. And I tell you something. We did a study in Jamaica, and it's the field application efficiency in Jamaica. We are at about 30%. And if you know anything about efficiency, we're talking about 100%. And what I say the field application efficiency is about 30%. What it means? We're wasting 70% of the water. In other words, you buy a pound of flour and 70% of it. No, you buy the biostimulant And you know what you know? You keep over the bottle and 70% diet gone. You know what it means? You have to go back and buy 2 more bottles. So, field application efficiency, and just understand the percentage of applied water, irrigation water, that is successfully stored in the crop root zone. Very critical. And that is why, if you look at the picture, you see some stuff. This is where you want the water to be. But a lot of time, like the Sentinels farmers, I went there one time out there, and we said, we did the calculation and said, you only need to irrigate for 2 hours. So when I did for 12 hours. And you know what the farmer said to me? He said, boy, Mr. Giles, we hear what you say now. 2 hours, but I can't see the water pass. I'm not trying to be idea. Guess I tell you what he's doing. He's denying another farmer water. He's wasting money, and they can't tell you what. He's damaging the crop because I saw the man with a big word on the about 5 chapter speech. I don't know what it means. But ask me. Next slide. So, there's also another efficiency. Conveyance efficiency. And you can appreciate that you have to get the water to the farm. If you use cannon, and you see some person block the cannon, some person put pump inside and steal the cannon, and then they talk about evaporation. And we use the pipe. I'm going to tell you something about pipes. Even the sizing of the pipe is crucial. So the first thing a farmer does when you go at the farm store, he say, you know what, I see my farmer with a 1-inch pipe, and you procure a 1-inch pipe. Guess I tell you what happened. It's the biggest mistake. Because you say you get more pressure, I don't know, but that is for another story. Next slide. So after you know about the field application efficiency and conveyance efficiency, like NIC, you know, we have to do what is known as a scheme efficiency. There are other efficiencies like distribution efficiencies and stuff. We're not going today. But the system efficiency is what we are concerned about. Because when you are not applying the water properly, and when the water is not being conveyed properly, it causes so more energy. You have to take longer to irrigate, and you are denying farmers. So I won't bore you with it because I'm going to get into the previous slide. Next one. So, and we all know that you have to choose the method of irrigate. If you want to be most efficient, if you want to get actually some crops, mind you can use drip and irrigate faster. So you have to use sprinkler. But you can use, and that is why you can reach out to an IC. Some of the extension of some of the things which is the next thing. But let me focus on what I really want to discuss. Next slide. This is it. This is all I want to discuss today. And I like maths. You know why? A man said to me, in the absence of data, you're just another person with an opinion. And you see, I don't know what's about. We deal with pastor, I never see pastor. This is Jolly Pastor. I'm in a church, I always use a scripture. Hear me now. I want to work with you. So let us assume for this discussion, it costs $5 per unit of water. Whatever. $5 per cubic meter, $5 per gallon, $5 per drum. So you buy that. So you pay $5. You see, you use that on all that water. The crop benefits from it, go right into the root zone. All you pay is $5. That is if you're 100% efficient. You won't be 100% efficient in irrigation. But let us use this for this exercise. But watch the difference now. When you are 90% efficient, The cost start to increase. In other words, you waste 10% of the water. You pay $7. You see that additional $2 could buy your lunch for the day. Yes, or better yet, could contribute to your daughter university and your son. Because it's just one unit, but watch it, it gets better. And let me tell you, when you waste the water, you see, all you do is give NIC money. And we don't want to get money, so it don't make no sense because the production don't increase. And we are collecting money and we are on the pump and nobody benefits. So hear me now. 80% efficiency, that means you're throwing away 20% of the water. You're going to $10, 50% of the money. So every dollar you give a nice thing. Half of the dollar you should be giving us. Efficiency we're talking about, just how you use the water leach, just how you convey the water. But look, it gets more interesting. 70% efficiency, because triple, you start to pay $15. When what you should be paying pastor $5. So you give me NIC $10 while somebody else should be giving NIC 5 and somebody else giving NIC 5. So 3 farmers should be paying that $15. And guess what $10 out here, they quarrel and say they pay wrong. That's too expensive. Because of inefficiency, no, it gets in low. 60%, you start to pay $25 for what you should be paying $5. Come on. It makes no sense. And let me just give this up. When you are 50% efficient, you're paying NIC how much money? $50 per unit. And what did I say the application efficiency was? 30%. So you can, if I put this, the graph there, hey, you know I never put it on it, the graph don't worry. You never pay me too much money and I don't want you to say NIC taking so much money for your age. So I'm saying, this is where farmers, this is where we need to start focusing.